Good day, everybody. This is your man Shannon on another rendition of You're So Witty. Glad to have you today. Hopefully your world's going good, and if it's not, keep praying, and I'm sure things will turn around. We're here today with a real cool dude, and his name is James Searcy. How you doing today, brother?
Life is good.
Doing good. Life is good. Yeah,
very good.
Okay. Well, we brought you in today because I felt your energy, man. Was glad to have you come around and talk to me. Tell us a little something about yourself. Who you are?
Well, was born in Pontiac, Michigan. Retired government worker. I retired from the military. I was an industrial hygienist tech when I retired, but God, I've been retired longer now than I've worked.
Right.
And so right now, enjoying my best life. I have a blog. It's called the Geezer Style Page that I do daily. Have a radio show called The B-Side, which is classic R&B with a twist. It's a hint of jazz, but it's mostly love songs, lush melodies, meaningful lyrics. It's the 4 or 5 songs on the album that didn't get the airplay, that weren't necessarily the hits, but they were most assuredly the jams.
Gotcha.
And married. I've been married 20 years now, and a grandfather. And I'm just enjoying my best life, man.
Well, I like to jump right to subjects, man. And we brought you here for another subject. We're still continuing our series on divorce. And I appreciate you coming out and just kind of chop it up on, what that means and what it looks like and what it did look like. So from that, I'll just ask you straight up. The first question is, first of all, you're married now?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And you've been married
20 years.
20 years.
Right.
That's good. That's good news. So we like to hear the good things too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
From your standpoint, how stressful was divorce on the scale from 1 to 10?
It really wasn't stressful for me. I looked at divorce as just an extension of the relationship. I didn't really take the whole bounds of marriage very seriously when I first got married. I got married at 19. And basically, it was a situation where my ex was, I met her in the military. And I was in one duty station. She was in another. She told me that she was pregnant. And so trying to do the right thing, the honorable thing, I got married.
I see.
And then I got an assignment. And so she couldn't follow me on the assignment until a certain amount of months. And I really didn't want to wait to take the assignment. I was looking forward to, something new. And realistically, I didn't take the whole idea of being married seriously in that respect. So subsequently I left, and we subsequently got divorced. The interesting aspect of that was as I said, the whole purpose in getting married was because she was pregnant.
Okay.
And so
when you say it wasn't stressful, pretty much the divorce itself wasn't
not
a stress point for you.
No, because I wasn't probably because I wasn't there. I was in another country.
Yeah.
And because everything I had kind of moved on.
Military wise, had taken you to other places and all
I
that
had
stuff.
moved on mentally from the situation.
Right.
And it was just, okay, my girlfriend's breaking up with me kind of thing.
Yeah, you just kept it moving.
Yeah.
You just kept it moving.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Right.
Well, from that standpoint, it may be a little harder to answer this, but when you see other people and you even think about your own situation? Is divorce ever one person's fault, or do you think it's a collective effort?
Well, in my particular case, it was 100% my fault. Okay. I mean, I wasn't ready, and I wasn't in love. I had a concept of love, of, I look at love. There's 3 different elements to love for me. There's love, there's being in love, and then there's loving. And loving is that sustaining point as you get older, when the teeth go in the glass and different situations occur, that you're just there. You're still there,
Still hanging in.
Right.
Yeah.
Love, we love a lot of things, and we love a lot of people. Yeah. And then being in love is that thing that makes your heart beat when that person hits the door. Yeah. It's that longing, that desire. And I wasn't in love.
You said when the teeth hit the glass.
Yeah. You put those teeth in the glass and things like that. Everything goes south.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
But the fact that if you're still there when the teeth hit the glass, then something was.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're gonna all change. We all go through a period of change.
Yeah.
And the feelings of our 20s and our 30s and our 40s, sometimes by the time you hit 50,
things change.
Most of that stuff is not important. Everything is about creature comforts, and you become more of a friend.
Yeah. So when you say that it was mostly your fault, or it was your fault.
Oh yeah, 100%.
In most cases, do you think that's the case, or just in your case?
Well,
is it collective? You would think it's kind of hard to say, though.
Well, here's the thing. I do believe, that men initiate breakups. A woman generally does not initiate a breakup unless there's mental, emotional, or physical abuse.
That's it.
So you change your mind, and most of the times you don't go into it with you may go into it with the purest of intentions, but most of the time you're lying to yourself. You rationalize your reasons for doing what you do, and then subsequently you're no longer able to rationalize it, and you have to make a decision: am I going to stay in this circumstance or not? And many times you're trying to find your way out. But interestingly enough, I've always maintained that God provides a window during your dating process and everything else, where there's that fork in the road moment where you need to make a decision of whether or not this is the person you're going to be with or not.
I see.
And
way before you get to the
absolutely, and many times we lie to ourselves, we rationalize it. There's just a multitude of reasons why we do what we do as men, because, as I said, a woman chooses to deal with us. If like I know, you've been in a club and there's a group of women sitting at a table, they've already made a decision as to whether or not, soon from the moment they see you, whether or not they'll dance with you, whether or not they'll engage with you or anything else
before you even get across the floor to ask her.
Right.
She pretty much
and you walk across that floor,
long walk too.
Long walk across that floor,
and even longer if you don't get to dance.
And she's in that seat bouncing. She's in that. That's her song. She's bouncing,
damn near standing up.
Right.
Yeah.
But you weren't the choice. All right. Now her girl, who wanted to holler at you, you didn't ask her. So if you extend your hand to one and she says no, and you extend your hand to the one that really wanted to talk to you, she won't talk to you because of the fact that you didn't choose her first. Right? Regardless of the fact that her friend, that they're ace coon boom, they're friends, but
that's some truth to that.
Yeah. And so, the thing is that they choose to whether they're going to deal with us. But in most cases, we choose to end the relationship.
I see.
Right. And so, in my particular case, there was I rationalized the reason to get married, but, it really was not what I was supposed to be doing at the time. I got divorced and subsequently got married again. And basically that was for religious reasons. It's flee from fornication.
Wrong to fornicate.
Yeah, flee from fornication. It's better to marry than to burn,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so
the old better to marry than to burn.
Right. And I had started my journey, my spiritual journey, and it was in a Church of God in Christ. If you understand Church of God in Christ, it's a Pentecostal situation, and somewhat of a fire and brimstone kind of thing. And I took it literally. And so I decided to get married, legalize fornication. And I really, really, I took the wife through some changes, because
I get that.
It was not where I really wanted to be.
So for people that do, look at the fact that somebody made a mistake, I was at fault, they were at fault. Sometimes it's a collective effort.
Right.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes somebody had to rationalize. It seems to me sometimes both people know something's wrong, but one will make the decision.
Ultimately, everybody that I've known, essentially, that has gotten divorced, it's been the man that has made the decision to get divorced. I've known.
I don't know now. You got some women that be like, you know what? I can't take this. But
then again,
but it depends,
right? But my theory on it is that if she reaches that point, there's mental abuse, there's emotional abuse, there's physical abuse, right? There's not a situation where, she just arbitrarily walks up one day without provocation and say, you know what, I've made a mistake.
What if she loses respect for the man? And I really want to talk about this. I've been planning to go here, but what if she loses respect for the man for whatever reason? He ain't man enough, or he ain't, he's not, starts bossing him and not really respecting him,
right?
Taking lead and, not respecting him. But then once she loses respect, she don't even want him no more.
Right. But then again, that's a form of that mental, emotional, physical abuse.
From her side, though.
Right. I mean, but it's a rarity, because I believe that every woman believes in the fairy tale.
Yeah.
Every woman believes they're Cinderella.
Yeah.
And they don't go into a marriage basically saying, this is going to, we're going to do this. This is going to be over in 9 months or whatever period of time, especially, if they have children. They're looking at security aspects. They're looking at all kinds of
security is big with women.
Absolutely.
Now. Yeah.
And so you're looking at all of these aspects, and it's rare that a woman will go into the situation knowing that there's a shelf life on this relationship. We, on the other hand, can rationalize any reason to break up. You don't do my coffee the right way. When we've made this decision, we've made this decision. And it's really interesting, because I explain, I have daughters, and I explain this to my daughters in terms of their relationships. I say, hey, if he ever tells you that it's over, take him seriously and end the relationship.
Why would you tell him that?
Because it's our nature that if we want to end the relationship, if we don't end the relationship and the woman ends the relationship, then ego jumps in, and we're hell bent on getting back into this relationship. only to be the one to break it up, right? You know, it's just the ego just can't handle the fact that you don't want me anymore. And, you know, to expound on the question that you asked, yeah, there's those times, but they're a rarity. If you really took a poll of individuals, and that's essentially what's going on with the collective about divorce, from most perspectives, it's rare that the guy has been the one where she's coming to him and say, look, it's done, but without provocation. Yeah. And I know from my perspective, it was not their fault. They were great women, you know, that would, you know, do whatever it took to keep the marriage going. And, you know, I was like, okay, no, that's it. Elvis has left the building.
I got you. I got you.
And
but you did an honorable thing too, in my case, of you saying it wasn't their fault.
Right.
And it's always good when people can hear even that, you know, it wasn't your fault or whatever. But I'm a firm believer that also people know when they didn't do all they could have done.
Sure.
They, you know, whether it be male or female, they be like, you know, I really,
I mean, I had to come back and apologize because you need to give clarity, because see, what we have another tendency to do is assign blame.
Okay.
Somebody wants to be the winner and somebody wants to assign blame. And so they're like, yeah, you know, this, you didn't do this, or you didn't do that, or this happened, that happened, whatever. But when it comes down to disagreements and everything else, you're supposed to leave a person with their dignity.
Yeah, I agree with
and
that.
Right. And a lot of times, in order to justify this breakup, you have to put the other person down. You have to make them feel like it's their fault. And they're sitting there many times, sometimes for years or whatever, trying to figure out, what did I do wrong?
Let me ask you something. What if a person knows what they did wrong?
Yeah.
You know, and you still want to leave them with their dignity? Is it better just to say we're not meant to really even be together? Yeah. You're still leaving them with their dignity.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that I can go into a plethora of things.
Yeah.
You need not go to a plethora of things.
Right.
This just now I don't mean because you left the toilet seat up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm a firm believer in not all marriages are ordained by God.
I agree.
Okay. Yeah. I think that there's someone for everybody. But we have a tendency to do God's job. You know, and in spite of the fact that we have this knowledge, we know what we have a general concept of what we want, whether it's because of how our parents raised us, or what you saw, or, you know, the marriages and, you know, things that you've seen. We have a general concept of what you see as a productive marriage.
Yeah.
The unfortunate aspect, as I said, is that, you know, we don't wait to get what is for us. And so,
and then you find yourself in a marriage,
absolutely
trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Y'all both struggling.
They
not feeling you really not feeling them.
Right.
Because it wasn't time for you to marry that particular person.
No,
you know.
And, you know, it was,
if at all.
Yeah. You know, I, you know, got married, you know, basically, as I said, as a result of the church. And, you know, the fact of having a child and trying to raise that child in a wholesome environment. But, you know, you do a disservice. You do a disservice to the child. You do a disservice to the person, more so the person that you've married, because some people really take those vows, you know, to heart. And, you know, some folks look at it like, oh, well, you know.
Yeah, I didn't even pay my credit card bill last month.
Right.
You think I'm gonna stay in?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah. And so at the end of the day, it's really like sometimes you just got to stop lying to yourself.
I think
we're I mean, as a whole, I think, and I don't know, you know, I can try to trace it back to Adam and everything else when, you know, God approached Adam about, you know, the apple. He's trying to rationalize it. We will rationalize anything that we feel like is necessary to rationalize.
So in rationalizing, that could draw it out a little bit longer than it needs to be drawn out.
I mean,
you know,
look how many marriages, you know, folks have said, oh, we're staying for the kids. All right. And you know, walk past them at times and you resent them. You just, you know, you look at them and you resent them because of their absolute existence. And you know that in your mind, in your heart of hearts, you're saying, okay, we're going to stay for the kids. We're going to stay for the kids. You know?
Or you don't see them at all.
Yeah, right.
You may not even resent them.
Yeah, right.
No more than the sofa.
Yeah. And there's right. I always look at, there's a Meatloaf song. Okay. And it's a line from a song called Paradise by the Dashboard Light. And in it, he says, I'm going to love you. I'm going to love you forever. I'm going to make you my wife for the rest of my life. You know, I'm going to love you. I'm going to love you forever. You know, then at the end of the song, he says, I'm praying for the end of time to hurry up and arrive. Because if I got to spend another minute with you, I don't think that I could even survive. I'll never break my promise or forget my vow, but Lordy, Lordy, what I do right now, I'm praying for the end of time so I can end my time with you.
That's a hell of a thing, eh? Ready for the end of the world to come so you can get out of the situation.
Look,
anything to stop this, right? Because I don't want to break my vow.
Right, I don't want to break my vow. I don't want to break my promise, but Lord knows I want to be done with you.
Well, let me ask you this. If you saw somebody within a divorce, going through turmoil, no matter what the reason was, we don't have to get into it. What advice do you give a person, whether they worried about what people are going to say, whether they worried about, you know, how things, you know, money wise? I mean,
yeah, you know, I'd say live in your truth. You have to live in your truth. I mean, if it comes down to a level where you're expressing your dissatisfaction with another person and you're involved with this person and it's you know, anguish, you got to end this relationship, period, point blank. You have to live in your truth and you have to, you know, figure it out. I mean, you know, yeah, there could be some financial ramifications or whatever.
Your thing was living your truth.
Yeah, you got to.
That's a powerful, powerful.
But you know what?
Statement.
The thing is that we, as we've evolved, and especially in the last 10 years or so,
right?
As people, we become very much more open and honest about a lot of things. You know, I commend you on the podcast because this is an open forum to really live in those truth conversations that we may not have had before.
It's uncomfortable sometimes.
Right. But now, you know, you're much more able to just say, look, this is the way this is.
Yeah.
Now you think about that, you know, the living in your truth. How many people, that wasn't even a conversation or a statement of living, you know, we didn't have that statement.
Everybody thought they had the same truth.
Right. Yeah. And now, you know, we're able to say, look, no, I'm not, I'm just not
feeling this.
Right. Yeah. You know, and okay, let's look at how we're going to do this now.
So one thing you said, the peace that came with it.
Oh my God.
And see, that's the thing that I would say to anybody. If you have peace, you got everything. That's the windfall.
Absolutely.
We talk money, but the windfall is your peace.
Oh yeah.
And peace is got to be centered, man.
Absolutely.
You know, whether it be a woman or a man. That's my take on it. If you have peace, how much does your freedom mean to you?
Right. And you know, when it comes down to it, it can all be, you know, it can all be figured out. I mean, if in fact that two people are amicable in their understanding, but yeah, you know, it's like,
is it going to be amicable?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the thing of it is that, you know, you're looking at it and, you know, we've been married 30 years. Okay, we got a house.
Don't build all this stuff up.
How we gonna split the house? How we gonna split the car? How we gonna split all of the stuff that needs to be divvied out?
Yeah,
you know, because I've made a contribution, you made a contribution, everybody's made a contribution, and if you do not have a certain level of wealth and security, oh, you're thinking about your dollars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you say men tend to start over or women tend to start over?
It really it
I mean, from ground zero.
A man, yeah, generally, because there's, you know, the proverbial ram in the bush. You know, there's somebody that
you think all the time there's somebody.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I mean,
look, nobody. They just go get an apartment and be done.
Look, it may not be the right then. Okay.
You mean there's always somebody down the road?
Somebody down the road.
Okay, down the road.
You know,
that not necessarily sitting in
the
cup.
No.
I know some brothers say, look, I don't want to see nobody for the next 5 years. I ain't, you know.
Yeah, and I've known women that have been like, you know what, I don't have to I don't have to iron no more. Yeah. I don't have to cook no more. Yeah. I don't have to answer to anybody anymore. Yeah. And they're like, cool. Yeah, I am not gonna do this again.
I've heard guys say, I had a guy that I knew told me, he said, if we argue, because he had been through a really rough patch in a divorce, he said when he started dating again, he said, if we argue within the first 3 months, I cut him to the curb. I said, really? He said, man, what?
Yeah, right.
He said the first 3 months that should be the blissful point.
Right.
That argument get heated?
Yeah, right. And I can understand that. I can truly understand
that's
that.
What you really done.
Right, yeah, because you know you're you know, you've been victimized.
Yeah, okay? Pretty much. Yeah.
And institutionalized in a way, you know, in a way where, because marriage has been referred to as an institution.
Wow.
And so, you're you know, you have
thought about it like that.
Yeah,
I've thought about it like that, but not because of that word.
But I mean, think about it.
If you're
because essentially there's routines that you do, and
I think in a lot of cases
everybody worries about the finances.
If everybody had equal money, how many marriages would stay together?
Oh, bro, it'd be a whole bunch that just would.
I mean, they got enough money to go start over and get as much as they got or more.
Right.
Would these marriages be still hanging in there?
No. Absolutely not. It's like, why? You know, why? Yeah. Because as I said, once you've cultivated this, you planted this seed. Yeah. Right. For whatever reason that you planted this seed, in a lot of cases, you've already left the building.
Right.
You're just contemplating what's my exit strategy?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you go that deep,
but what is my exit strategy?
I would, from my standpoint, I would definitely say if there's a chance to make it work, because once you get to the point of you're going through the divorce, you say, you're already in it, and it may be a chance to change it, but for the most part, you're already in it.
Yeah.
But if there's a chance to make it work, see me, I don't say just do it. Not me.
Yeah.
I rationalize everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
If there's some concrete things that you just know probably not going to change, then the do it part probably goes with it. But now if there's some things that, you know, y'all just haven't really discussed, but by a certain point in a marriage, 20 years, 15 years, all these years, this person is who they are.
Absolutely.
You're who you are.
Absolutely.
And by you knowing that, that's a good reason to sit down and get in your quiet space and say, now, wait a minute. I could either continue to do this. There have been situations where you hear people say, my life is fine. Mm-hmm. And the other person be like, but mine is shitty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the person say, well, deal with that. And they walk
Yeah.
off. Now, see, in a case like that,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Because,
But the thing is that the person that is feeling the abuse or feeling the,
the lack of everything.
They're in there for whatever reason they've rationalized it. You know what I mean? They're able to
Stay with it.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe it's just love.
Right. And you know what? And that's a possibility. Like I said, there's 3 stages of love.
What is
in my opinion? Love, being in love, and loving. And
that's 2.
Yeah. Well, no, love, being in love, and loving.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you get used to it. I mean, there's, think about it.
Man.
Stuff that you did in a previous relationship or a previous marriage that you did not like. You're not generally bringing that to the next relationship.
All right.
The next marriage.
So now we don't want to jump ahead, but I'm gonna go on and go into that because what you just said makes sense. What life lessons did you learn from divorce based on what you just said?
Ooh, I really had, I became committed. Okay.
Committed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had to learn unconditional love.
So in going through the divorce prior to, it's helped you to know what real commitment is, would you say?
Right. Yeah, that. And absolutely. Because there was not that that rationalization for getting married. Okay. I rationalized the first marriage because of a child.
Yeah.
I rationalized another marriage because of the church, and so.
But this one
I didn't, have that rationalization.
My focus for such a show as divorce is because I meet so many men and women. It helps people to understand the process. Yeah. We could talk about it all day, man, and continue to go with it. But I want to tell you, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate everything you said, transparency, all of that stuff, because that's what it takes when you have these discussions. So if you like what you heard, we ask that you like and subscribe, and hopefully that you will continue to listen, because there are things that we hopefully as a help tool can give you to listen to and learn from. And if you learn something, maybe you can use it. Well, until the next time, thank you, brother, for coming.
Not a problem.
Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. To the next time, remember, you too are so witty.